This is a video on some Paint 3D art that I did a while ago. I have some music playing in the background for this one. I don't know if people will mind if I play just the music that I'm listening to, but I don't even know if you can hear that. But um, so I am just gonna put the screen a bit closer here because the art's a bit small, but I'll get it as close as I can here. Get it just a tad closer. So yeah, just some weird stuff I did a while ago. I think I was like 29 when I did these. I wonder what the date for these are. Um, I'll say that I think I was about 29 or so. Yeah. Um, I think that's it there. Um, so this first one here, um, is based on a job that I've had. A lot of these are just based on jobs that I had post grad school. I had quite a few. Uh, so this is my attempt to turn these jobs that I've had into what the equivalent would be for their medieval or middle age counterpart. So I worked as Sutherland Global Services for a while, and I worked as a consultant for TV services on their text-based service, or chat-based service rather. So customers would send in questions about their TV service to me via chat, and I would answer them via the chat service, or send them to someone who knew the answer. So anyway, that was basically my job. So I try to figure what would my job be in the Middle Ages if I were to equate that job with a job in the Middle Ages. What could that be? So since I was doing TV and internet services as well as phone services, those all have to sort of deal with art. And I mean, there wasn't TV obviously and phone and internet back in the Middle Ages or medieval times, but I thought, well, the TV has to do with art, internet has to do with art. I thought maybe I could be like an art salesman or like sell paintings because I was doing sales also for those products. So that's the closest thing I could think of. That might be better for the Renaissance, but something around that time period. So I have myself here. I just photoshopped myself as a um, hopefully you can see that. I just photoshopped my face onto a medieval body here in either medieval or Renaissance times in a painting store rather. So that's just me selling the paintings to whoever just came in here. The viewer, I guess, would be who I'm selling paintings to. But yeah, that's the first one there. And God, I don't know how to do this. I think I just click back on this. Okay, good. Okay, so next one here. I don't know what's going on here. So this next job here, I was a consultant, not a consultant, a contact representative at the Department for Veterans Affairs for their medical billing department. So I was trying to think what kind of job what could exist. I mean, these aren't necessarily real jobs back then, but are more plausible to have existed or could have existed to be more accurate back in the Middle Ages or Renaissance times. So I thought about that and I thought maybe I could be like a leech's like billing assistant, so I keep track of his payments and all that. So I just put myself here again on the medieval body. This one's a bit different, but um, I'm kind of there just to keep track of how much either this person who's getting leashed owes this leech here, and other the leech did other things too. You didn't just take blood from people, but and try to drain them of their bad blood. But I would keep track of, okay, what was the procedure done? How much did they owe? I keep that in a log somewhere, and um, I guess I'd have to go to the tax collector if anybody was behind on their payments. So yeah, I don't know. That's again, I don't think any of these actually existed back then, but just a plausible one here, as well as the other ones that I made. So yeah, that's that one there. I'm gonna try to get this better in better frame there, and I don't know if everybody can see the first one fully there, but I'll try this again. That's just the painting salesman for the uh, consultant for TV services and phone and internet at Sutherland, and then this one here is the Leach's financial scribe who keeps track of his medical records based on the bills that or the payments that the people need to pay who have had treatments from him. So I have another job here. This is when I have to check this one. This is for when I was just a college student. I kind of equate to that to what would monk would be, possibly even a priest, because I was doing some tutoring at that time also. So I have a number on my head there because I was in a Tough Mudder uh, event, and so they had to write the number on my forehead to signify, you know, where to place me in the race, I suppose. So it gave me a number there. I don't know why they just asked for my name. I don't know why they do that, but um, anyway, um, yeah, this is just what I would think of as, a college student slash tutor, like a monk or a priest. I think that's for college there. And then this year, when I was in high school, I was a martial arts instructor, so I equated that to being like a trainer of the squires. So maybe they would have like a knight who is responsible, maybe a younger knight who was responsible for training the knights in training or the squires here. And there's me high school age. I don't really have blue eyes. That's a camera effect there. I have brown eyes, but yeah, just some weird ideas that I had. Then I made some weird art to go along with it. And then this as college age as well. I worked as a store assistant at Fairport Country Max, so I equated that to I think here just like a farmer because I sold I didn't sell, but I assisted customers with farming equipment. And it doesn't look like this stuff is from the Middle Ages, so I screwed up a bit on this one because there's some headphones here. So that should have been more, but it kind of looks like a medieval, like farming, like shed or something like that. But I kind of messed up then, so I should have gotten an actual like shed from then if they had farming sheds back then. But anyway, again, these are just hypothetical, plausible ones, not actual ones. So yeah, that's me at 20 when I had that job. Um, um, and then this one here. This one, oh, you know what? I think the other one had to do more with grad school. So the one I showed you before had to do because I was more grad school age in this one. So this one's sort of like well, maybe not. I think I was doing either this one or this one for a college student slash tutor, kind of like either a monk or a priest in training in the monastery or church. That's the best thing I could equate that to in the Middle Ages. Um, I'm going to try to do the jobs first, and then I'll go to the other ones later. So this one here, I upgraded. So you can think of the college sort of like a monk or priest in training, and then grad school. After I got my master's, I thought, well, I had my master's, maybe that would equate to like an actual priest. So yeah, I had myself as a priest there, or what I think to be on a priest's body in the church. And I apologize for the watermarks here, but that's the closest thing I could find to a picture at that time, I think. Or I was just being lazy and just got the first thing I saw. But again, just some weird stuff here based on a weird idea. This one, I was a taxi driver for a day. Um, when I think I just turned 29. Yeah, I had it for one day. Thought I could do it, but the commute was about an hour away. And so I was driving all day anyway, and then the commission wasn't enough to pay for that hour drive there, which made it 2 hours there and back. So I kind of screwed up there, but I thought, well, that kind of equates to what a carriage driver would be. So I put myself on the carriage driver here, and again, these aren't necessarily real, but just plausible. Um, so yeah, I don't know if they actually had someone like that there, but I essentially taxied a lot of college students around the Ithaca area who were going to the Cornell college there, so that was kind of cool to see Cornell while I was there at the college town cabs, which is a good organization, but it's just what didn't work for me at that time. And then I have another one of those where I was a food delivery driver for Marvin Mazzaroni's for a bit when I was in between full-time jobs. It was just a part-time job. So I delivered pizza and pasta to people with my car there, my Toyota Corolla 1994. So I just added some food to the back of the carriage here. So the difference would be between those two that I just showed you would be this one is a person who would deliver food from the farms to the people in the town, and then the other one would be one for just carrying people, maybe from the town to the castle or from the farms to the town. Um, and I'm going to try to find another job. Oh, here's another one about professions here, occupations. So I had another job. I'm trying to think of what this one is. What the heck did I do here? So I'm around 28 or 29 here. Oh yeah, I was a custodian for about a month before I got the contact representative job at the Department of Veterans Affairs. That was a full-time job, but I only had that for a month because then I got a higher paying position at the Veterans Affairs office. So this is just me. I know they had stewards back in the Middle Ages who were responsible for managing people who would take care of the castle. I don't know if they would have janitors, so to speak, or custodians, but I know there are people who would take care of the castles and upkeep them. So that is plausible one there. And I'm just going to plug my laptop in just to make sure that I have power for the rest of this video here. Um, so just one moment. Actually, I don't even know if I can do that here. Maybe. Hold on just 1 second. Okay, that looks like that worked, so that's good. Okay, so just gotta plug this in here. It's a bit longer than a second, but a moment or two. So yeah, that's just what I would think to be as like a middle age or medieval custodian. And this one here, have that there, thief to beggar. I have technically stolen because I used emulators in the past, which I didn't mean to do, so I feel bad about that. But I have that here, so I kind of feel bad about that. So I kind of made myself, a thief and then a beggar to sort of punish myself. Um, so that felt kind of bad about doing that there. Um, and then what else did I do? Oh, here's another profession or medieval profession one. So I have to figure out what this one is. I'm just trying to remember because I've had a lot of full-time and part-time jobs since grad school. Um, this year I'm on a farm, so what the heck? I'm around 28, 29 there. Or let's see, I was a legal assistant for a while. Then I was a contact representative, consultant, metal fabricator. What the heck is this one? I don't know why I'm on a farm in this one. Although that could do. Hmm. No, because I'm older in this one, so that can't be Country Max. What the heck else did I do after grad school? I don't know why I put myself as a farmer or a serf here. Maybe. What the heck was I doing there? I mean, I was unemployed for a while, so maybe I just made myself a serf because I was unemployed. Maybe that's why I did that. That makes the most sense. Um, but I think this is my other attempt at the leeches, or what was I? Oh no, that's the athletic training room assistant position I had in college. Also, I worked in the athletics office for a few years. I was a residential assistant for 1 year also in college. So maybe one of those college ones was the residential assistant one, where I was either a monk. I think the monk one would probably. I know what the monk or priest in training was probably the residential assistant one. Yeah, the priest in training would match that residential assistant best. And then this one here is for when I was an athletic training room assistant. I would do ultrasounds on athletes who would come in. I'd do wraps on their feet sometimes. Mostly do ice wraps. I learned how to do other wraps too, like a foot wrap to like support like ankles that have been sprained in the past, which I did do. I would sign people in, obviously, or make sure that the athletes signed in. I think that's the majority of my job. I got supplies from the supply closet and I brought them to the athletic training room. Spent a lot of my time on this board there over a barrel where I would like balance on this board. Where if you put this board on top of this barrel, you would stand on top of the board and balance on it. I don't think I could do that now. I think I'd break another bone like I did skateboarding. But anyway, that's my athletic training room assistant job that I had in college, equating to essentially a leech's, not financial assistant, but just a leech's assistant there. So I have an arm which I'm letting the blood out of there, which is coming out of the woman's leg. So that doesn't make any sense, but I think that's the best I could fit for the picture. So that's that there. Um, and then this one here. Oh, I worked as an instructor at People Inc. for a bit, where I was a instructor for someone with a disability. I basically just went to his home and taught him how to read. I would teach him hygiene skills. I would take him to, places around his house, like the store and the park and things like that. So I think that's why I did that there, because I did drive him around. So that's why I have that here. But I don't want to say too much more due to HIPAA regulations. This is another job here. What the heck is this one? This must be the legal assistant position here because I'm in a law office that looks sort of, or what looks to be, what could be a law office back in the Middle Ages. I don't think they had lawyers in the Middle Ages, but they did have tax collectors. So I was thinking maybe I could be like a I did work in the foreclosure department at the law office that I worked for only a month, but uh, yeah, I just couldn't keep up with them. They were going. I mean, they did actually offer to help me, but I didn't like the position. I didn't feel right to me. Um, and I guess I could have kept up if I actually took the offer for their help that they offered, but I don't know. I kind of was thinking going in another direction, doing more what I'm doing now, like data analysis and software coding, things like that. Um, so yeah, that would be that there, like a tax collector assistant, something like that. Keeping track of taxes and whatnot. Um, I think that might be it for the jobs. I'm going to double check. Oh, yeah, one more, but I think that's just a copy of the one I had before, where I guess I was a monk as a college student slash tutor. And I'll show you the one before which I created to the residential assistant. If I can get this page to work here. I don't know how to get this back up top. I'm just going to refresh and then get to the page again, which is going to take a minute, but yeah, I'll get it again here. And let's see. I'll put this here. Go back here. And this should. Paint 3D here. I don't know. I said print 3D in the description. I must have typed R instead of A. So is R close to A on the keyboard? No, not really. Kurta UEF as well. No, so that's I don't know why I did that, but I'll show you some of the other ones here. I'll just go in order because I don't want to have to go back to that screen again or have to redo this screen again. But this one here, well, maybe I'll do that again because that would make more sense. So this one here, this is my like morality scale. I know that they have like character morality scales online where they analyze like various pop culture characters and the morality type. So, for instance, if you look at like lawful good, that would be like in the Star Wars series, that would be Luke Skywalker. And then you have a neutral character that would be someone like Boba Fett. And then you have a chaotic evil character that would be like Emperor Palpatine. So I kind of did it for like the high school male stereotypes. I don't know why, but I gave them like a special like alcohol that I thought they might drink. Um, like after they were studying or whatnot. But I think okay, so I'll explain each one here. So this one's like your all-star athlete slash jock character. I think I just gave him some standard whiskey, maybe some Seagram 7 there. Um, so yeah, I consider that to be sort of lawful good because having you know an active life and a good physical body is also always something that leads to good things. Allows you to read more and produce more and do great things. So I gave that kind of stereotype the lawful good. And then I have the sort of the computer nerd here. Maybe not as fit as the jock, but he does have a lot of good potential for a job in the future. He's really interested in computers. Does a lot. Maybe even created his own circuit board there, or printed circuit board with a integrated circuit and silicon and all that. But yeah, he has. I think I gave him Smirnoffs here. I think that's what that is. I think I was going for vodka. I don't know if that's Smirnoffs, but I gave him vodka there. And then I have the sort of misunderstood rebel slash bad boy here. Someone who might have gotten in trouble in school, but was trying to do so for a good reason. I think I don't know what this is here. I think this. Oh yeah, that's tequila for him. That might be Dos Equis. I don't know if that is there. And then I have the class president slash student government dude here. Really involved in student government, class politics, things like that. Possibly the class speaker at graduation. So I gave him. I think this is supposed to be. What is this supposed to be here? Because this is clear here. So I don't think this is vodka. Maybe like Sprite or maybe vodka and soda. Maybe that's what I was going for there. Put some lime in there. And then I had myself in the middle here, sort of the well-rounded student. Not really super involved in sports or computers. Didn't really rebel too much. Didn't get too involved in school government, but I was sort of involved in all of those. Involved on my high school JV soccer team, involved in my high school JV track and field team, my JV cross country team, mostly cross country. Practiced martial arts while I was in high school, taught martial arts while I was in high school. Was on student life committee for 11th and 12th grade, although ninth and 10th. Was also the ninth grade student forum moderator. Um, I was the founder of the film club senior year. What else did I do? Mock trial, I was the member of for all 4 years, and I was co-captain senior year, along as co-captain of my cross-country team senior year. Just sort of the well-rounded student. I wasn't like a super jock. I didn't play like, 3 sports all year round for all 4 years. I also wasn't a huge computer nerd. I only took that HTML class in 10th grade. Um, and I didn't really rebel too much either against anything. I was usually pretty safe. Um, I mean, there was times where I think I spoke up sometimes, but most of the times I either with my classmates, like during study hall or before school, like I might speak up about something if I thought something was iffy. But I did do some rebellious things. I tackled my friend Ethan one day. Um, I in high school. And I think there was a time in high school too where um, I accidentally left my gym bag on the floor. Oh wait, no, I think that was middle school because I don't think we had to do sports in high school or gym, not sports, but gym class in high school as long as you're doing and a sport outside of that. So like you could do skateboarding, or for me, I chose martial arts. If you weren't just playing one of the school sports, so that's I just had myself as an all-around student there. And then I have this sort of guy here. So we have a lawful good here for the jock or all-star athlete, and then lawful neutral for the computer tech savvy dude there. Lawful evil for the rebel with good intentions. Have the neutral good for the student body president slash student government aficionado. Neutral for the all-rounded student who just does a lot of all sorts of things, but not a lot of each. And then here I just have neutral evil for somebody who he's not a bad boy. He didn't like rebel and then get in trouble or anything, but he didn't really do any like sports or extracurriculars. Also, he just sort of went to class. Maybe got a B for his average grade there, and I gave him some Mike's Hard Lemonade. So not a bad person whatsoever. Neutral evil, I guess, would be for all of these evil ones in quotes. But like I don't know, relatively. And again, I mean, I'm not saying that if you were like this in high school, you're evil, but just like relatively on the scale here. And then I have this here, the chaotic good. I just have like the musician or music aficionado. I gave him some. I'm guessing this is whiskey and soda with lime in it. So 7 and 7, I'm guessing here with lime, and then for up here, just straight 7 and 7. So the music aficionado, member of the band, member of a band maybe outside of high school, as well as the wind ensemble and jazz ensemble. Really into music there. And I have the gamer aficionado here, the video game aficionado, someone who's into gaming, video games, playing them, maybe even making his own games there. So I give him chaotic neutral. Again, I when I have chaotic here too, I should put that in quotes also because I don't think if you're like that in high school you're chaotic whatsoever. But just like relative. And I have gave him some red wine there, which may or not be as appropriate, but I don't know. That's just what I chose at the time. And then I have the kind of goth character here, someone who's more of a brooder would be another better term for him. Someone who's just sort of depressed and doesn't really like high school, maybe didn't go to all his classes, maybe just squeaked by with a D minus and everything. But sort of just did his own thing and just kind of got through and was just really depressed. So I gave him some, I think, absinthe here. I think that's supposed to be absinthe. It has a cherry on it though, so I don't know what that is. But I don't mean to stereotype, but there are some truths to stereotypes. But and again, I wouldn't say any of these people, if you were like that in high school, either chaotic or evil. So all have potential to be good, all have potential to be bad. So um, that is that for that. I just have to click through here. Alrighty, so this next one here, I think this is another morality chart here. I think I just put my friends up here as like, and some family here. So you have my cousin here as one of them. But I was thinking of like characters in history and people in history, and then giving them the morality score here. So for lawful good, I think I have a farmer here, and I have my face over that, just to make this more art-like. And then here, who do I have as, I have lawful neutral here. This looks to just be like maybe like a comic nerd or a comic book artist here for lawful neutral. I have, for lawful evil, I have like a military official, maybe the military official of a country that has done some bad things. So I have myself here for the farmer. I have Casey, my friend and roommate, for both senior year in college as well as my first and part of second. I think actually all of second year of grad school also. I have my friend from college, Andy, here, who's also a roommate my senior year for the, again, quote unquote, uh, or quote and quote, I guess quote unquote also works, military official there. Had my friend from high school, Simon, there as an artist for neutral good. I have my friend Elliot from college as a judge for neutral neutral. And I had my friend, well, not my friend, my cousin, AJ Kuhn for neutral evil there. And he just is like a lower level criminal, maybe like a drug lord. I think that is supposed to be Pablo Escobar there. So that's neutral evil. I have my friend Josh Metsky here from high school. He is chaotic good, and I believe he's just a beer producer slash salesman. And it looks like craft beer there also. And then I have my friend Grant Conboy as chaotic neutral here. Just put his face over a homeless person there. And then I have, and again, I don't mean to offend anybody in none of these. I just thought it'd be interesting to make a scale. And again, I know people are very complex and have different backgrounds, and I myself have a very complex and interesting background also, of which I do not want to speak all about right now. But it is interesting, and maybe I'll write a book about it someday. But again, I met many people of many different backgrounds and types, and everybody is very complex. So I don't want to stereotype anybody, but I just wanted to do this for fun. And then I have my friend from college, John Murphy, there. He is chaotic evil. He is, God, what is he supposed to be here? Chaotic evil. Oh, he has a beard here, so I'm guessing I just put his head over the face of Osama Bin Laden there. So a terrorist could also just be interpreted that way. So that's that there. What's the next one here? This one I don't think is a morality scale, so I'll go back to that one in a bit. That one there. I wonder if this will show up if I click it. That did show up, so that's just another copy of the monk one there. I'm going to turn my phone off because it is ringing. That's my alarm there. And then I have this one here, truth. I think those I'm going to return to those in a bit, but what the heck is this one here? This might be another morality scale, which I'm focusing on now. Some sort of manual there. I don't know why I have that in there. I am going to go down a bit here. I think that might be it for morality scales. Oh, nope, I have one more. So this might be just another copy of the one I did before on the high school students, but I'm going to check. Yeah, that's just a copy of that one there. So I did that one already. So that's it for those. Ah, shoot, I gotta do this over again because I don't know how to go up on this. If anybody knows how to go up using this, if you have a Hisense TV, Android TV, Hisense Android TV, and because there's no scroll button here, so I don't know how to go up without getting to this here. Unless I just, well, I'm just gonna do this here. So just give me one moment. And do this here. Go. And there, that works. Okay, so I'm going to do the next set of artwork that I did now. Here, I'll show you what I have here. Oh, God darn it. I keep going past the up screen, so I don't have to do this again. So just one moment. Sorry about that. I have to do this again here. And then just wait for that. So just one moment. Sorry, I have to start from the top again. Okay, so that's there. I don't know why that's not reloading. I'm going to try that one more time. And maybe let it work if I do this here. I don't really like this music, but I'm just going to keep it on because I don't want to add any more distractions to the video. Okay, so just remember to, I'll just remember to start from the top here. Okay, so, alright, so I did those already, the professions equated to medieval professions, all of those that I've had over the past. I guess I will move on to these here, and again, I don't know why I'm obsessed with this. I'm very obsessed with like height and weight and age. For some reason, I always thought the height of the Mario characters were really weird. I don't know why they made Luigi so much shorter than Waluigi, and why they made Wario and Luigi the same height. As, you know, if Luigi's a taller, thinner version of Luigi, why isn't Wario a shorter, fatter version of Mario? So I think I have Luigi at 6 foot, Waluigi or Luigi at 6'3", and then Wario at 5'3". So I don't know. I just decided that maybe Nintendo will listen to me and change their character models there. That just always bothered me for some reason. Then I have some more of these here where I put the faces of my friends over the characters, sort of who they remind me of. Andy is Bowser, looks to be about 6'6" there. And then my cousin Andrew, or AJ as Wario, around 5'3". And then my friend John Murphy, who is actually very tall. He's 6'3", so I put him as Waluigi or Luigi, as I want Nintendo to call them, or him rather, in their American versions of the games. But anyway, weird thoughts converted to weird art. But I'll show you the rest of my Mario stuff / height stuff here. This is another height one. This is like a height rainbow. So I have yellow as short, orange. I think these are just like the based on the belts that I earned in karate. So I had the white belt as being short, yellow as being a little taller, orange is taller than that, purple towards the middle, green being in the middle, blue being a bit taller, and then brown as being taller than that, and then red, and then black. So those are sort of the belt colors. I actually didn't have red belt in karate. I only had, I think it went all the same up till red, but red would be considered a Canada belt, which was half brown and half black. But I just decided to make that red, as I think red would make more sense there. But yeah, that's fine if you use half brown, half black too. That's not a big deal. You know, I don't want to do the up and down thing again, so I'm just gonna go in order here. Where I have to return to the or refresh the screen rather. So I'll just do some more in order. Here's another Mario height one where I show Mario's height. I made him around 5'6", a bit taller than Wario. Waluigi or Luigi at 6'6", and then Peach I consider her without her heels on there. I made her around 5'9", as she is taller than Mario. So I don't know why they make Luigi shorter than her, but anyway, that's what I would think her height to be, like 5'9". I have some more here. Mario, Wario, and Bowser. Again, Mario, I think to be about 5'6", Wario 5'3", and then Bowser around 6'6". So there you go, just my strange thoughts here, and a weird artwork. Okay, so I'll skip over the ones I've done already. This one here, just thinking about the presidents apparently. So I have Washington here. I have, I believe this is John Adams here. So I have Washington with plantation here. I have Adams, I believe, with a tea tax note here. I also have the Revolutionary War under Washington, the Boston Tea Party under Adams there. God, I hope that's Adams there. I hope I'm not getting his name wrong. I have Thomas Jefferson with a $2 bill there. I can't remember who this is. I think that's Millard Fillmore because he's in Buffalo and I have the Erie Canal here, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I don't know what this is here, but it's a political cartoon of some sort, possibly involving Millard Fillmore. And then I have Lincoln here, and I did read his biography, and he did take a substance called, it was blue something, to keep him sane, so to speak, although it may have done more harm to him than good. If you know what the name of that substance is, definitely leave a comment. I am blanking on the name of that now, but it's some sort of chemical he took, blue something. So I have Washington, Adams, Jefferson, I believe that's Millard Fillmore, and then Lincoln with blue something, which he took to keep sane. So it is weird when you read about presidents and people who you put in high regard and you learn about their dark secrets. It's definitely interesting to get a more mixed view of them. But I still think all of those are really good presidents. I wouldn't talk about them if or make art about them if I didn't think they had done good things. And then rainbow, I have a rainbow here. Looks like a rainbow of professions. So I have a homeless man in the red here. And then I have a custodian for orange there. Have a IT tech representative or a help desk representative for yellow there. Computer programmer. Actually, this might just be like I'm going to say this is a consultant for yellow, just like a consultant like the job I had for like Sutherland, where you consult people on their questions regarding TV and internet and phone. I'm going to say this is an IT tech person for green. I'm going to say computer programmer or data analyst for blue. And then I have a solar power engineer for purple, possibly a other energy source engineer also, but I have solar here for that one, for purple. So yeah, kind of put them in what I consider to be most important in terms of occupations there. Feel free to disagree. I mean, again, I've had many occupations in the past, and any work is hard to do, so have respect for anybody who does work and does a 9 to 5 job or longer than that. Even a part-time job can be difficult at times. So I have boots here that I put in a rainbow scale. I quit soda, so I don't drink soda anymore, but I have Coca-Cola there for red as well as beer or alcohol. I have hot chocolate or chocolate milk for orange there. I have peanut butter for yellow, milk for yellow. I have veggie sticks for yellow. Also pizza for yellow. Pizza might be better here. Switch for banquet. Banquet might be better here for yellow because these kind of dinners are high in sodium. And you can get healthy pizza, so I screwed up there. But I also have wheat bread, whole grain bread for green. I have lean ham for green also. I have orange juice for blue. I have apple for blue. Then I have apple juice for blue. And then I should have put an actual vegetable here, but I don't know if I was eating very many vegetables at the time besides those here, the veggie sticks, and then in the banquet dinners, and then in the pizza. But I put a pickled cucumber here, but I do consider cucumbers a fruit because they do have seeds in them. And vegetables are things more like roots without seeds. Potatoes, which is a starchy vegetable, and then celery, leafy vegetables like lettuce, things like that. So that's my food rainbow there. And then what do I have here? This is a holiday binary here. So I have New Year's. I have in white. I have myself as the New Year's baby there. And then, I'm going to turn a light on here so you can see the screen better. But I'm going to open a window too because there is some sunlight left. It's getting later, but sunlight might help one view the screen also. I wonder if that made it better. Oh, that did make it better. Okay. So I have myself as the New Year's baby here. I have some champagne here. I have some cocktail thingies here to celebrate New Year's with. Put a red eye in the center here for some reason. I guess I just thought it looked cool. And I have some wine here for Valentine's Day. I have myself as Cupid here. And I have some Chinese food, which I usually get on Valentine's Day. And I might have to refresh the page again here because I want to do that part last. So I pardon me, but I will refresh the page again here because I'm gonna have to go down. Well, maybe not. I might have to, but I will let you know because I want to do a certain type of artwork last. I have more hype pictures here. Again, I'm like obsessed with hype for some reason, and I'm trying not to be as much, and I've gotten better at it, but I said my friends, Josh here and myself here. That's, I think, a picture from when I'm in Australia, and this is from when Josh was in Europe with me. I have him as a bit taller. I think he's around 5'10", 5'10 and a half, and I'm around 5'9", 5'9 and a half. And I have Mario and Luigi here, Mario being about 5'6", and then Luigi being around 6 foot. So I thought that'd just be cool to see myself and my friend with the Mario characters there. And then I have some more here, just showing my friends. There's me. I'll give myself 5'9 and a half. And then Josh, I'll give him 5'10 and a half. Friend Casey, I guess I'll give him 5'3 and a half. He's a little shorter one there. And I guess I'll give my friend Andy around 5'10 and a half also. So yeah, just me, bored one day, unemployed, made a lot of weird artwork. Okay, so those I will do later also. I'll show you the height ones and the rainbow ones now. Actually, you know what? I'll do those now too. I'll just go in order here. But I'll do the special ones for last there. Open that one already. This one made some what I thought would be cool t-shirts. I call them truth files, like just stating what the truth is. I have clouds that are very nice here. Again, in the order of the karate belts, white, yellow, orange, purple. Have some clouds there. Nice blue sky. What else do I have here? So I have truth 2, then truth 3. Okay, so I have, again, in the order of the karate belts in terms of colors, green, blue, brown, and red. I have garrulous birds dig worms. I'm guessing garrulous means talkative. I think that's what it means from the best of my knowledge. So that's that there. And then I have this next one here. Egg scrambled now, please. Again, these are all going to be in the order of the karate belts, but I don't know why I put that there. Egg scrambled now, please. I must have wanted scrambled eggs. I must have been asking myself for some scrambled eggs. What else is in here? Binary set. Okay, here's another truth one here. Again, these might make cool T-shirts. I don't know. Make one like this someday because you can't design your own T-shirts now. There's actually a place near Newark, in Palmyra, the village of Palmyra, where the Hill Cumorah, the Mormon Hill Cumorah is. They have your designer and T-shirt place, which I might go to and make one of these someday. So grass can be mowed, and then I have some grass here. Let's see, man, I have a lot of these. A little easier to make. That's the reason I made them. So poo is carefully defecated. That's a nice nasty one there. Have some feces in the upper right hand corner. And then I have chi can be, oh no, chi can be good. And then I have a Hieronymus Bosch painting there, a sort of chaotic one. So that's more sort of chaotic chi, sort of surreal chi, hellish, nightmarish even. So that's sort of ironic there. Shared and dry. Okay, so truth 8. Solar is the answer. And I have a solar panel there, and I was really into solar power then. Still research it a bit now. And the science behind this is actually very complex, but there's positive, negative band gaps involved, which transform these photons from the sun into electrical energy. But there's a lot to it also. There's like discussion of when things are dark, how solar can be used. I watched a lecture on it online one day, but some of it just like good deal of it went right over my head. But I did know a little bit about that. Pop is growing fatter, so I have Pop here. Maybe a dad. I think I took that from something. I think I might have stolen that from somewhere. So I don't want to have any other copyright issues. So I think I stole that from Hop on Pop from the Dr. Seuss book. So please don't sue me. I'm gonna say Pop is his name here. So that's my own original character there. Um, so yeah, go over to the next one here. This is money grows on trees, and this has more truth to it now as we've gotten into more contemporary times. I mean, money isn't based off of any physical element anymore. It's not based off of a gold standard. It's not based off a silver standard. A lot of us probably don't even use cash anymore. Probably just use our debit card, which is essentially electronic information. So we're essentially just creating a value for what we consider to be an appropriate amount to pay one for the work they do. So that's sort of doesn't even grow on trees even, it just sort of emerges from our heads. But I like that old saying there as it kind of fit with what I've sort of learned about money and how it's evolved. Trump in 2016 now. I have been a switch hitter in terms of my voting. So I voted for Obama both in 2008. Well, no, I think I only voted for him once because I voted him. Oh no, did vote for Obama twice in both 2008 and then 2012. I did vote for Trump in both 2016 and in 2020. But I don't know. I might vote for Biden for a second term because I don't know if I'll have enough money to pay back all my student loans. Something that I really was willing to do, both my private and my federal. I don't know if I can do that. I guess it'll just depend on how much money I make in the future. But if I'm not so rich in my future, that's going to put a huge damper on me. So again, I don't really have a party, so to speak. I just vote for the person who best sort of fits my interests and what I think is moral. So I think that sort of matches. I mean, if you are poor, so to speak, or poorer, or less financially advantaged than others, and you have a lot of student loans, I do feel for you. So I don't know. I do like Trump. I like how he tried to keep a lot of jobs in the U.S. I like some of his steel tariff uh, involvement, as well as um, thoughts on interest rates that are given to various people from um, a car dealerships. And I won't go too much into politics now, but I switch back and forth between Republican and Democrat. I'm sort of in the center, and I just sort of vote for people based on, again, my self-interest, but also what I think is moral too. I try to balance that as much as I can. Immigration reform is dank. So I have that here. At the time, I was sort of into heavier immigration reform where more policies were made to keep illegal immigrants out of the U.S. I think I still hold that belief. Again, I think if you're willing to work and willing to fill out the paperwork and willing to apply legally, I think that is fine. And I'm all open to that. But it can be problematic when too many people try to get into this country. There just isn't a lot of room. Well, I mean, there's room, but we don't have infinite room. So that's the main reason why I wrote that there. Immigration reform is dank. And I meant that in a positive sense there. Although dank does mean kind of like dark and murky and musty there. But complex issue. But I do think there should be either the same regulations that currently exist or slightly heavier regulations. Again, I would have to read more into that. But I do think immigration should be about the same as it is for now. Again, I'd have to research that more. But tax reform is groovy. And then I have a picture of Obama there. I kind of turned from Obama to Trump at this time. I kind of went from liberal to conservatives. That's why I have him on my dartboard there. But I think Obama was a good president. I don't really know much about his policies, but he did do some really good stuff. He did catch Osama Bin Laden, so that's really good. He's also left-handed, and I'm also left-handed. So I think he was a good president, and I did vote for him both times. So that's just another sort of comment on my political shift there. But again, I might switch back to Democrats someday, so I don't know. But anyway, Tai Pai Dong is a bomb. That is Tai Pai Dong, the mother of all bombs, created by North Korea, potential threat to the U.S. So, that is sort of why I made that one there. At the time, I was reading about that. So kind of a threat there to the U.S. Sorry, I just flashlight. I don't know if flashlight is a word. I just farted, so I apologize for that. Clinton used her laptop. Again, Clinton was accused of using her laptop for some not so great purposes while she was in the White House as VP to Obama. I don't know the details behind it, but that's what I have as a t-shirt there. And then Trump loves Putin. That's just sort of a joke about how Trump was sort of involved in the election with Putin, and I don't understand this fully, but from what I understand, sorry, I'm farting again, so I apologize for that. But Putin, Trump sort of was associated with Putin, and he tried to use Putin to reinforce Trump's standing in the U.S. election. I don't know why that's a no-no. I didn't see any problem with that. That's just a joke on Trump loving Putin there. And Putin, I am shirtless a lot also, so I don't mean to make fun of you in that. So kudos to you for going shirtless there. But yeah, I don't know a whole lot about politics, but I'm just sort of giving what I know on the t-shirt there, or bits of it. And then ISIL is Al Qaeda, so that's the Islamic State of Iraqi Levant. That I think is just another name for Al Qaeda, just another name for it. Is Al Qaeda son? So that would be me telling my son that. So ISIL is Al Qaeda, son. Um, so that's that there. Islamic State of Iraq Levant. Um, and then I'll open this one here. Manafort want more credit. I don't know why I used caveman speak there. I think I was just getting tired. But that's Manafort, and I don't know very much about Manafort and Mueller and that whole debacle with Trump's lawyers and all that. So again, I knew a bit more about it at the time, and this was about 6 years ago now. But just have that T-shirt there, and I'm just going to make sure that's I'm going in a particular order here. Comey, you are fired. Again, Comey, I think he was Trump's lawyer. He was fired. Again, I don't know why I'm using caveman speak, but sort of regret doing that now. I just sort of should have used normal grammar there. I think that was his lawyer. Again, correct me on that if I'm wrong. I think that's him. Um, I have North Korea banned Christmas dancing, and that is actually true. So I have a sad Santa here. Potentially has booze in there in a paper bag, and some candy or chocolate there. I don't know what's in his bag there. Maybe his clothes or something. But North Korea did ban that. They banned Christmas dancing. So shame on you, North Korea. No banning of the Christmas dancing. Um, let's see. What's in this one? I have to remember here. We will all be cyber humans. Oh, okay. So this is just my commentary on how we'll all be more cyborg-like in the future with Google I think, which I was reading about at the time. I did that in reverse order there with the belts, but going from blue to white there. But yeah, I'll have to go to the next one here. Plasmodesma permits protein passage. So plasmodesma, man, I can't remember exactly what plasmodesma is. I guess I was learning that at the time, but it permits protein passage. So I'm guessing it's kind of like, well, it's not completely like water because water lubricates the cells for nutrient transfer. So plasmodesma is a bit different, I'm assuming. Centrosomes, man, I don't remember what centrosomes are either. Maybe they're part of the cell. Create microfilaments. I don't know. I kind of know what a filament is, and I know the microfilaments. Kind of know what that is, but I guess centrosomes create microfilaments. I don't have to refresh my memory on that one. I'll have to research that later. Centrosomes create microfilaments. Plasmodesma creates protein passage. Lysosomes hydrolysize. Okay, I do remember those there. Part of the cell, maybe part of the vacuole there. Central vacuoles. So I'm guessing that is related to lysosomes because I have that next there, and it's in white over black as opposed to black over white. So I do remember something about that. Parts coming through again. Apologize for that. Pure use, learn quickly. Old people want drugs. That's true. So I have that T-shirt there. Have an idea for a book title, potential book title here. I'm also just thinking B plus student for a book title if I ever write my life story someday. If I never evolve beyond B plus student status here, but grad school dropout. I have headphones there. I have some cannabis there, alcohol, a car, and I have a blue pyramid here. And then this is not me. I couldn't get a photo from behind for myself, but that kind of does look like me there. But I think I would use myself in the photo, looking at that pyramid there. Again, not a great design there, but something simplistic, and that title needs to be a bit more in center too, but just a prototype of something I might write someday. Okay, now I'm on to the actual final stuff that I want to show you, which is strange stuff, but I will refresh the page here so I can give you all of it, I think, although it might be a bit out of order, so I apologize for that if that's the case. But I'm going to go back here. So I have this here. So I have this here. Prep 3D or Paint 3D projects. Ah, shoot, I went too far again. Or maybe not. Maybe I can go up here. I have to redo this again, so I apologize for that. I think I went a bit too far there. So I apologize for that. Go back here. And Paint 3D again. Here. Ah, shoot, I gotta do that again. Sorry, I did one more time here. Shoot. Sorry, I keep going past it. I don't know why I keep doing that. Paint 3D. I have to find. I guess I'm having trouble finding the actual picture that I'm looking for. So Paint 3D. Okay, I'm just going to be a little careful here. And okay, so this is just a weird idea I have. I wanted to create like what would be a virtual experience. It is one entering a weird boxing ring, Slippy 7 boxing ring. So I'll find the next one here. So that's the first photo there. It has the frog with the boxing gloves on it, on a brick building, which one can imagine to be the boxing ring there. So I have some more of the boxing ring here. This one, for some reason, doesn't have text, but I just have my friend Andy over Butterbean's face there. He's a famous boxer. Was in, I think, the first Jackass film. He kind of matches Andy's, or what used to be Andy's body type. I don't know if Andy's actually that big now. I don't think Andy was ever actually that big either. Around there, but I'm not certain. But that's Andy there. I don't have any text on the Hypno Frog here, but I gave him the weird blue eyes there. And then I have this one here. This has text to it. Slippery 7 Boxing is a bare knuckle boxing ring. We specialize in offering unique fighters with unique moves. So I have the Hypno Frog, who's the head of the boxing ring there. Here's him again. That concludes my introduction to my fighter. So this is not in order, but do you want to join? So that's that there. And one more here. Again, I didn't finish this, but Slippery 7 Boxing is bare knuckle boxing. We specialize in offering unique fighters with unique moves. So I did that again for some reason. I don't know why I did that again. Maybe I just made another copy of it. And then I have this here. I have Casey, my friend Casey here. Has some champagne there that sort of matches Casey there in a way. I don't think he ever wore a bow tie. I don't know. I don't really know if he would wear that, but I don't know. I just found the closest picture online that I could fit to his face there. Okay, this is Barbiturate Boy, 5'4", 150 pounds. Special move, he throws his drink in your face. And I don't think Casey ever drank too much. I think he was very moderate about that. I'm just making fun of him here. He was a good dude, good roommate, never caused any issues, nice person, smart dude overall. And I have my friend here, Josh Netsky, who was a professional musician. I think he still is a professional musician now, although I don't know for certain. But this is Slunks Magoo, as I call him. I'm 5'10", 140 pounds. I don't know if that's his actual height or not. Special move, he sings you to sleep. I have another picture. That's just another copy. So I'll go through the ones with text here. I see I have ones without text and one with text. So I don't know why that is, but I have my friend Elliot here as a looks to be like a samurai without his armor. Again, this weapon here, and I can't remember what the name of that weapon is called. Oh, here I have it here. This is Garut Teigeri. I don't know what Garuti means anymore either. I have to look that up again. 5'11", 173 pounds. Special move, he wafts you with his Shiguriyama. So I guess he's being a little more peaceful there. But that's the name of that weapon with the chain and the blade. Shiguriyama. I have my friend Grant as an artist here, and he is an actual artist. He does like comics and stuff, but I have him with a beret and a paint easel there. Again, with a Hypno Frog. Again, I don't want any copyright issues, so I want to differentiate myself from Futurama. I have myself here. Okay, I have a red nose. Looks like I'm a hobo clown here. This is Boo Boo Bozo, 5'9", 150 pounds. Special move, he pees on your leg. Should have said urinate for that one. That's more proper English there. It's a little more complex. So I don't know, just doing some weird stuff here. And then I think all the rest of these are just copies of the ones I've had before. So I won't show you those, but I just wanted to show you some of my weird ideas, weird art that I made. Name's Stephen Lancaster. Feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you again for listening and watching, and I hope you have a good rest of the day.